That's Leonard Kavundla, aged 59 years, the principal cooperative officer at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, who has been arraigned in the Anti-Corruption Court for plea charges that led to his arrest. Court presided over by Magistrate Esther Asimwe charged Leonard Kavundla with one count of conspiracy to divert public resources of over 3.485 billion.
Still at large, between 2019 and 2023, conspired to defraud the government of Uganda of 3,448,714,611 shillings, which was intended for war loss compensation of Byarugaba Growers Cooperative Society Limited. Have you understood?
Leonard Kavundla is charged together with other legislators, Igala East County Member of Parliament Michael Mawanda, Wamakuyi Mudimi, Paula Kamba for Busiki County, Namutumba District, and lawyer Kiria Julius Taitangoko. The four were charged and remanded last week. Court couldn't grant Kavundla bail following the absence of the trial magistrate Joani Asiru. Court has now remanded Leonard Kavundla to Luzula Government Prison until 9th July 2024. Meanwhile, the same court before Magistrate Ebati Asimwe has set 27th June 2024 for the prosecution to make its reply to the bail application of the former boss of Mulago National Referral Hospital, Dr. Byarugaba, together with other accomplices.
Applying for bail this day, the Monday, 24th of June 2024. I am made to know that lawyers complied with the directive and served the documents to the state by close of business last week. The reason why court gave this day is that the trial magistrate, who is myself, in this matter would be on leave beginning 1st July 2024 and would be disrespect of rights of accused persons to keep them in custody for over a month without being given an opportunity to be heard on their bail application. I'm alive to the fact and the legal provisions that bail should never be used as a punishment and also should be granted at the discretion of court, which should be exercised judiciously. While the defense filed the documents with the state by end of last week, this court has just received a bulk of documents and identification documents since morning, and it would be actual pretense to say that court has verified documents in minutes. Therefore, to give a convincing ruling in this bail application, this matter shall be adjourned to the 27th day of June 2024 after court has studied all presented documents. In the meantime, all the accused persons are further remanded, including A4, who has just taken plea, to the said 27th day of June 2024 at 11. So that is the time we shall meet here for a ruling on bail application. I don't know whether you...
The accused applied for bail through their legal team.
On the law regarding bail, we do not need to repeat it. And we suggest that each of us presents sureties and for the court worship to note that all the accused people have been on bond, police bond, for the last 2 years. And have answered it without fail. F5, Mr. Wafula Kenneth is the former senior hospital administrator of Mulago Hospital, as stated in the charge sheet. Now he's currently the hospital administrator at Hoima Referral Hospital. As shown by letter on page 5 of his documents, written by the hospital director. Page 5, Your Worship.
Where are the original documents?
My lord, that letter, Your Worship, as you can see, was scanned by the hospital director and sent to us. That's a scanned copy. Which under our laws is as good as the original.
Proceed.
And my Your Worship, also, A5 was on the 4th of April 2024 appointed as a member of directors, member of the board. Yes, the original copies are here with me. I wanted to send them as I submit. Yes, but for the accused person, they are already at the bench.
Okay, proceed.
Yes, Your Worship, the A5 was on the 4th of April 2024 appointed as a member of the board of directors. 2024 years. So the government still has a lot of trust in him. Of Hoima Regional Referral Hospital. His home is Local Council 1 Somero Cell. The original letter is at the bench, but it's also on page 2 of his documents.
That the power to grant bail and set the terms is at the discretion of court. Neither counsel for the applicant nor for prosecution can usurp those powers. And it's our prayer that you exercise that discretion in favor of applicant A4. Now, A4, Your Worship, has a fixed place of abode at Kazinga Zone LC1, Chiwatule Parish. Kazinga Zone LC1, my Your Worship, Chiwatule Parish, Nakawa Urban Council, Kampala District. This is confirmed, Your Worship, by the original letter of LC1, and it has also been confirmed by prosecution in its charge sheet. He also has a national ID, original. Without even a criminal summons being served on him, he produced himself. He has 4 sureties, which you pray that you find substantial and who have been able to outline their particulars on said UA. The documents that we did serve court and prosecution. The first surety is Mr. Wamai David. Can I have your passport, your Parliament of Uganda? Your Worship, the documents that he has brought along himself is the national ID. The details are on Schedule A. Yes, my lord. Both on IKIMIS and the hard copy. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. He's an assistant commissioner, finance, surety number 1. And planning with Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. And planning with Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. He's aged 52. He's a paternal uncle to F4. He has produced 4 forms of identification. Number 1, the national ID. Employment ID from the Parliament of Uganda. Rather, Minister of Finance, Minister of Lands, I beg your pardon, Your Worship. Letter of introduction from his area LOC. And his passport. The second surety, Your Worship, is Mr. Mugumya Tibizuka. Telephone number is on the schedule there, Your Worship, but it is 0704.
Prayer that you find them to be substantial. And Your Honor, I beseech you to exercise your discretion in favor of A2 and you grant him bail on those conditions. Your Worship, we also present to court a copy of the certificate of title. Your Worship, the certificate of title is at page, a copy of course, is at page 14 of the booklet. Your Worship, that certificate of title has also got a transfer form from the registered proprietor in the certificate of title, Mr. Chigundwe Riab. Your Worship, at page 18, we present a sales agreement, a purchase agreement for that land by A2 from the registered proprietor as proof of ownership of that land. Your Worship, the A2 had recently purchased that land and was in the process of transferring it when he was arraigned before court. Your Worship, we also present a search certificate, a search letter from the lands. We didn't disclose this, Your Worship, because we just got it yesterday. But we can avail my landed sisters a copy and also court a copy. Your Worship, Your Worship, it is my very humble prayer that you find that certificate of title acceptable because we have availed both the transfer form and the sales agreement, and also, Your Worship, therein there is a telephone contact of the vendor of the said land. All those documents, all those facts confirm that the certificate of title, Your Worship, is owned by A2.
Prosecution led by Gloria Nzukuru asked court for more time, which Magistrate Ebadi Asemwe granted.
Where is the metro?
Your Worship, I will respond starting with applications for F4.
What?
F4. Your Honor, first and foremost, we object to this bail application.
F4, this is Mwasa Charles.
Charles. It was submitted for all the applicants that they have been reporting on the bond for the last 2 years. Your Honor, no evidence has been adduced to that effect. On the contrary, a bail bond form attached in respect of F4 shows that he last reported on police bond on the 26th of March 2024.
Which date?
On the 26th of March 2024. And his bond, police bond, was extended to the 25th of April 2024.
20?
24.
24th of April.
He was supposed to put on the 25th of April.
Yes?
However, since then he has not responded. He didn't appear on the bond. His co-accused appeared in court last week, and he still didn't appear. And it was submitted by his counsel that he voluntarily brought himself. Your Honor, how can court trust such an applicant who does not honor police bond and only appeared in court when he knew that the long arm of the law was going to catch up with him? Your Honor, this same applicant presented a medical report from Aga Khan University Hospital showing that he was sick. Your Honor, this medical form is dated 22nd of May 2024.
Is it dated when?
22nd May 2024. And this same medical form shows that the applicant was sick from 22nd May 2024 to the 12th of June 2024. Your Honor, the question is, was this doctor in anticipation of the accused being sick? Because the letter is dated 22nd, and he anticipated him being sick all the way up to 12th June.
You are saying the doctor?
The question is whether he anticipated him being sick up to the 12th of June.
The letter is dated when?
The letter is dated 22nd May 2024.
Okay.
And in the letter is where they indicate that that Mr. Mwasa Charles is sick from the 22nd of May 2024 to the 12th of June 2024. You know that this was an
The recent date is what?
that
When?
up to 12 June 2024. This only goes to show that the doctor anticipated the accused was going to be sick. Even if court was to believe this record, there is no report from the prison facility to show that his condition cannot be handled from the prison facility, where he will be detained. You know, the applicant presented 4 sureties. Surety number 1 was Mr. Wamai David. Even apart from his work ID, there is nothing else this court has to base on. Because Rule 7, Sub-Rule 2 of the High Court Anti-Corruption Case Management Rules 2021 require that the sureties demonstrate the ability to meet the bail terms. And you know section 103 of the Evidence Act places that burden on a person who wishes court to believe in the existence of a particular fact. Other than his work ID, there is nothing that has been presented before this court to show that Mr. Wamai has the financial capacity to meet the bail terms. When it was submitted for Mr. Kenneth Tibejuka, Mugumia Kenneth Tibejuka, that he's an Assistant Commissioner of Finance and Administration. the same position other than his work ID, there is nothing before this court. To show how much he earns from his employment. And if from his earnings, from his employment, if there's any pending loans or any encumbrances on his earnings from his employment. And the same to Mr. Balikudende Henry and Patrick Golowe Wanyama. One of the offences with which the applicant is charged are very serious financial offences. And it involves colossal sums. Both the applicant and his sureties have not presented any form of security before this court. Something that would be so dear to them that they would stand to lose in the event that the accused jumps bail. Your Honor, in this case, there is nothing. On the contrary, if he jumps bail, it will be the state to suffer to look for him and his sureties. Then we also have the interest of the complainant. The complainant is Mulago National Referral Hospital. And by virtue of being a national referral hospital, all of us as citizens of this country are affected in one way or the other. Therefore, in exercising the discretion that court has to grant or not to grant, I also pray court considers the complainant, his interests, and that based on the submissions that we have made, that court finds that this applicant has not satisfied the conditions for grant of bail, and accordingly denies him bail. In respect of the other applicants, that is A1, Dr. Byarugaba, Veteran and Bonaventura, A2, Engineer Kataha Edward. F5, Wafula Kenneth. A6, Okware Christopher. A7, Ada Kamuchonguzi. A8, Robert Wasike. And A9, Catherine Wilfred Naguire. Each of these applicants have presented a bank of documents. Including land titles, employment letters, letters from their LCs, All of these applications were received at our office on the 21st of June 2024. Which was applied on the 21st of June 2024.
What was received on Friday?
The documents in respect of these applications. And you know that was the last working day of the week. We could not verify these documents. And it has happened before in this court. In High Court Miscellaneous Application number 20 of 2023.
Miscellaneous application?
Number 40 of 2023.
Yes.
Tefera Okuba Slasi Robel versus Uganda. In which the sureties, one of the sureties presented a land title, which is currently in court. And because the state was not given an opportunity to verify that document, and later when the verification was done, it was found out to be forged. And the accused has since run away until now. It's therefore our humble prayer that in respect of the rest of the applications, we'll be given about 3 days to verify this, that information. And in fact, Your Honor, in respect of A1, we were served this morning with particulars of 2 other sureties. That is Mr. Asera Stephen. And Mr. Ochero Jim Bricky Normally. You're already in respect of Mr. Asera. He's said to be a member of parliament. But his ID bears 3 names And yet all the other documents, his national ID and his letter of introduction bear Sarah Stephen. But this ID for Parliament bears Sarah Chaza Stephen. Your Worship, we pray to be given an opportunity to verify these documents, to confirm that indeed these are the same people who have come to court and that the information that they are provided to court is correct, before we can make a submission to their bail application. All this is because of the amount of money involved in this case.
And I'll respond in the manner in which she has objected, since she has not asked for the 3 days in respect of A4. Firstly, Your Worship, the state is adducing evidence from the bar with regard to the issue of whether or not A4 jumped police bond. There is no evidence in form of an affidavit by the police officer or investigative body support her assertion. And indeed, Section 101 of the Evidence Act, which she has quoted, equal applies to her. But most, Section 101 of the Evidence Act. But most importantly, Your Worship,
01 or 03?
103, I beg your pardon.
I'm just verifying.
Your name was 103 of the Evidence Act.
That's what I have.
And I amend my submission at 103. Secondly, Your Worship, I'm shocked that having served the prosecution with the documents on 20th of June 2024, and having uploaded the same on the Ikimis, she did not have time to read through. And I say so because there are copies of the police bond forms that are attached. The last being him reporting on 19th of June 2024. The originals are with us. 19th of June 2024. So it's not true. 19th of June 2024. So it is a lie by prosecution to allege that A4 did not report. Secondly, my lord, it is a fact that he presented himself to court. That's not denied. He was aware that these charges were consented to on the 24th day of May 2024. And it is his counsel on 24th of May 2024. And it is his counsel through the numerous correspondences with the DPP that demanded that the matter be registered in court so that he can prove his innocence, as he has decided to report today. Regarding the medical report, with the greatest respect again, that medical report says he should be off from 22nd of May 2024 to 12th of June 2024. That finding, 12th of June 2024. That's a medical finding, Your Worship. My colleague and I cannot even purport to interpret that medical finding, whether he should rest from 22nd of May 2024 to 12th of June 2024. It's a medical finding. Thirdly, prosecution submitted, erroneously in my view, that no report from a medical facility or prisons has been adduced. That in the case of Nicholas Opio, versus Uganda, criminal application number 50 of 2020, 50 of 2020, similar objections were raised by the prosecution where it was counsel, and this is what the Honorable Lady Justice Jane Okuo had to say, and I quote, "The purpose of bail is not free an accused person from any charges that he may be facing, but rather to allow the person to stand trial without being necessarily detained in custody during that time. The Constitution of Uganda guarantees the right to apply for bail under Article 23(6)(a). This stems from the presumption of innocence enshrined under Article 28(3)(a). The essence and true meaning of the presumption of innocence enshrined in our Constitution as regards bail is that an accused person need not suffer incarceration unreasonably as he or she is not yet a convict. However serious the nature of the charge against an accused person, it remains an allegation until proven. The seriousness of the offense must therefore be balanced against the application of this presumption and other relevant factors when considering to grant bail or not. It is the law that the discretion on whether to grant bail or not remains with the judicial officer." Joseph, I'm fortified in that submission that, in fact, in that matter, it was an allegation of 10 billion shillings under the offense of money laundering. A4 is facing count 1, count 4, and count 12. Even if we combine the total sum, they do not reach this amount which was in Nicholas Opio. Lastly, Your Worship, we do not want, as prosecution and defense, to usurp the powers of court in as far as determining substantiality or otherwise. That remains the preserve of court. The form of security to be presented to court still remains the preserve of court. And in fact, in the documentation that we did furnish to court, all that information is there, but we being law-abiding citizens would not attempt to usurp the powers of court to set reasonable terms. In light of that, Your Worship, it's our humble prayer that the evidence that has been given from the bar by my land sister is disregarded, and this honorable court goes ahead to exercise its mandate under Article 126 and Article 149 of the Constitution and set reasonable terms in respect of F4. We so pray, Your Worship.
Your Worship, my elder sister made the play to court that documents were served to her on Friday. And that till then now she could not make verification. Your Worship, maybe it's good she was absent on that day, because we are complying with the court order. Court gave a direction that the documents be furnished by Friday, and state uses the weekend. Your Worship, court orders are not in vain, and accordingly complied. Your Worship, particularly at A1, the state actually prepared for a response. Today they filed an affidavit in position of bail. But I'm happy that the Rand state found no merit in it and abandoned it in our submissions. And accordingly, I will not discuss the governments in the affidavit because they have not been brought to this court. Your Worship, during my submissions earlier on, I did not furnish security. It was in papers, but I found it necessary not to furnish it because we cannot be seen to set our terms, but we are ready to comply with terms of court. The discretion to set terms is a preserve of court.
I have an objection to Council's submissions. Council seems to be making fresh submissions, and yet we have not, the application we made was simply to be allowed an opportunity to verify documents. We have not yet responded to this bail application. So it's quite unfair for him to respond. I don't know which procedure of the law we have adopted, but the application I have made in respect of his client is simply for verification, for to be allowed time to verify. And specifically for his client, I have even cited, among other things, that the things that we need to verify.
Your Worship, my land sister only made an omnibus reply, but also even went in detail as to one of the sureties, meaning that she departed from the omnibus and became particular. I was moving actually to discuss about one of the sureties, Honorable Asera. Worship, under the order of precedence of the Republic of Uganda,
Under what?
order of precedence of the Republic of Uganda, members of parliament are ranked at number 17. Their eminence is both notorious factors and the matter is judicially noticed. Your Worship, we invite this court to find just that addition of a name that can be explained. Your Worship, we pray that the jurisdiction of states which are aimed at delaying the stay of accused persons in detention be disregarded. The prayer of state that more time is given for verification be disregarded. It should be taken that they waive their right to verification. Worship, Land Justice Ogora, the principal judge was there. So, Jizabesije versus Uganda. Observe that the right to bail is akin to right to life. And that courts cannot fold their hands and send away the accused persons empty-handed as temples of justice. Your Worship, we pray that this court told us that the state does not have an objection to the applications for bail for you, particularly for A1. And accordingly grant bail. Your Worship, during my submissions, I forgot we didn't have the original letter with us that we discussed of Honorable Asera Stephen, and the original copy is here. Also, we didn't present the national ID of A1. There it is.
Before hearing their bail application, court first charged Charles Mwasa with 1 count of embezzlement, which he pleaded not guilty.
You may need to know that you stand charged with a team of other 9 members. If you were very keen, you had their names. You stand charged with Dr. Byarugaba, Baterana Bonaventura, the former executive director of Mulago National Referral Hospital, Engineer Kata Edward, who is the senior hospital engineer, Nico Posiano, who is the former assistant commissioner accounts and head of accounts section in Mulago National Referral Hospital, yourself, the former senior accountant of Mulago National Referral Hospital, Wafula Kenneth, the former senior hospital administrator, Okware Christopher, former senior procurement officer and head of procurement, Ada Kamchunguzi, former procurement officer, Mulago National Referral Hospital, Robert Wesike, shareholder and director of Setramaco Limited and Conventional World Limited, Catherine Winfred Nawire, equally shareholder and director of the company and secretary of Setramaco International Limited and Conventional World Limited, and Batanda Perez, who is the assistant engineer. So that is the team of people you stand charged with. So collectively, the charge sheet under which you are being tried has a total of 19 counts, and out of 19, you are answerable under the 4 counts. You are answerable under count 1, count 4, and count 12. And without wasting time, the charges against you under count 1 are that you, together with Dr. Byarugaba, Baterana Bonaventura, and Nyeko Ponziano, during the years 2019 and 2020 at Mulago National Referral Hospital in Kampala City, being employed by the government of Uganda as executive director, being employed by the government of Uganda as Baterana was executive director and accounting officer. Nyeko was the assistant commissioner, accounts and head of accounts section, and yourself was a senior accountant. You respectively all deployed at National Referral Hospital Mulago and being authorized users of the integrated financial management systems in abuse of authority of your respective offices. You flouted payment procedures when you irregularly processed payment of Uganda shillings 3,658,380 shillings to Setramaco International Limited, purporting to be payment for the supply of consumables to be used in routine servicing and repairs of large-size sterilization equipment of an alleged capacity of 1,500 liters, which never existed at the said hospital, and this act was prejudicial to the interests of your employer. Have you heard?
Yes.
Have you understood?
Yes, I've understood.
What is your answer to these allegations?
Yeah, but not.
Mr. Byarugaba, how are you feeling? Do you still need a seat? Yes, sir. You can give him a seat. Last time he was kind of sick. Somebody can give him a seat. I don't want to see somebody collapsing before me. If you are still sick. A plea of not guilty is entered against you, Mr. Mwasa Charles, in respect of count number 1.
Dr. Byarugaba and his co-accused have been remanded to Luzira Government Prison.